First of all, say the way a President John Dramani Mahama aiding the Juma and in the Niema all year ewo my muin and Kebeye Yumpuanka Parliament in Tenase 1992 Constitution and common system. Nenka President John Dramani Mahama ko bi kran fanka ho. Now no ankasa ne party gum no obegu no. Gum no de wan hwe ade ne ma ekọ no obegu no because won say aban mu pa de. Enya de won betimi aba bi. Na emom so ogugum ne de na hemfa no de na ni kire. Ogugum ne pe ohwe na ne ma President John Dramani Mahama aye no to asumu a one either so obegu gum no na so obejai gum no akwa join NDC. Na wa hwe say afie besim ye to awafoforo bi obenya appointment bi because won say ne omo ye ewo omo second coming ni de em say ne ma de na kwamu anisa na okasa ewo Aluta FM ne nsem odi to dwane yenko tie gum omo obobo omu din se mpo omo so bo adwuma wa aban ni mu ne yenko tie ye sofo Christian Kwabena Andrew gum ne emra sisi
rapidi John Mahama
yeah
it is so far de dwuma wo ye
why dear
good
why dear pa no ma ode tutu na kwamu no manije
okay
na em say before say e be coalition am ni share but obai mi nko
okay
me pebre
okay
me pebre but me ba messages so
okay
enti no me pebre na mako hwe ni kira kwan wo ya de ni ma ototo ba no ebe boa o ti ase
ebe ma different party ebe chance na different party abana
oh say ekoba say Jomama timi tutu ne ma wie kura yi a ye be call election me the gum no beto nche me kwa ko join no asempa m ka jiro no
o party gum no
men ka ne beto nche
o de beto nche
na makwa ko join no ma boa am ya ko anim even impo no say ekoba say ye beti mo sa constitution de wie ayi a this na ho den so nte ya nke ma nto aso.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can you man into us?
Okay, be man to us.
That what dissolve who party no?
I mean dissolve ebeta for that chin chirimba.
No one ko boano.
Yeah, me boano ko say me pe Ghana development.
It is say say na BBC say na so ko boano na just what Daniel NDC ni o.
Oh, na e dey.
And be baby just what you say.
Me ba cho na mo NDC. Ansana me ba MPP. Na mo NDC JJ runs breso.
Oh, okay.
What I say, if JJ Basono, na NDC ba Ashanti Regional, many Ashanti former Ashanti Regional a chairman, ya obimpe, no what you so. Me na chichi skadema wona cast na eba no. Mokeska, scanner wa me ho. Enti dru wa ni astopo, the kind pay wo ni mokeska na mamo. Me na ne scanner wa me sem Ashanti Region. Enti kopim say JJ be free so akofo be ba no, na me change me kran MPP card me bantuma. Ahona na mewo enti no na do ba ye no a wo ko nanim na me campaign man na do a wo ko nanim na me hu se de bi de papa yi wi koi ka na bi sintrase enti na
me sintrase so se
enkoyi enti na ma me ko fa enti na ma me ko fa gum e ba ye no.
Enti Christian Kwabena Andrew osofo chirabosom na ode ne nsem etu dwa no osesese edi ohwe sede amemu ne kona wan hwa ono ne party no obetimi egu no obegu no na wakwa join eye NDC na ono anga sam se wa testi MPP kakra no abe testi NDC kakra na ohwe se de NDC kone dia na je se emu ayeda ne santi ono de ko obenya pa dia na yesenka free na obe free eye ono anga sa ne party no ebi obegu no wangu no so dia obeja ho dia ma obi na wa free mu no akwa ye adwuma e de ama the New Patriotic Party etie no ena yes eno ena Christian Kwabena Andrew ye gum founder ono angasa e de nsem etudwane ye ko nsem foforo mu na ye ko the University of Ghana Professor Jampo and if the female the Association of Female Alumni of the University of Ghana and nema miensa University of Ghana Professor Jampo and the female alumni of the University of Ghana omo de omo nsem ababe tudwa na omo esesen so I know na ewo screen so ewo ehonom no omo de nsem bebre ababe tudwa omo say petition for the immediate suspension of funding to the University of Ghana. Enti menka se World Bank so kam eka ho bi enti enko enan ehon sem ne eba beka sese we free the Association of Former Female University of Ghana Students /alumni we 18th November no de release we by. Now why mo the letter we come on me nhwe near mo bosso em say mo kro mo doso. One or say to the World Bank Group, United States Agency for International Development, USAID, European Union, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and National Institute of Health, Carnegie Corporation of New York, Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Chinese Ministry of Education, DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service, KAAD, Catholic Academic Exchange Service, and at Toyota Ghana. And TNT, I'm saying, subject demand for the cessation of financial support to the University of Ghana pending the removal of Professor Ransford Jampo. And now HSSC no amwangasa as alumni and ma alumni are University of Ghana, University of Ghana and ma ko. And as I'm breaking it down, say and ma University of Ghana. Almost say and kebeya the World Bank omo enjoy sika omo de bre University of Ghana omo de so masne omo operations no mujumedie mu no adentia omo say this is pending the removal and I say of Professor Ransford Jampo na say omo person ke yenyini free ho almost in the professorship no kranka yen free in sem enti enko ne enka ne entie mu nsem a ewo ho. Also we the members of Girl Power, a collective female alumni of the University of Ghana, UG, submit this formal petition to your esteemed organizations as major financiers and development partners of the University of Ghana. You hold a distinct ethical responsibility to ensure that your funds do not facilitate an environment where sexual harassment, abuse of power, and the victimization of women are normalized. Yes, Intimo, Mopua University of Ghana with funding near the no. Monshana Munhu or Monsamo Mudi to Jay. Sankebe Bomo say as more major partners, more na musika mu odu amode boa the University of Ghana. Monshe say we hold the ethical responsibilities no up high. Because say a cool and I say school modi musika botin ebe boa no sexual harassment ma obi ebe tata omo and I say ordinary office ebe intimidate ebi mo be hwe amana akoso ana say abe normal e wo ho enti se nke be ya enka musika modi boa University of Ghana ka munyai ekopem say the wo Professor Jampo din no Professor Jampo omo be yi no e dey free University of Ghana ho. I say we demand that your organizations invoke your safeguarding clauses to suspend all grants, endowments, and financial aid to the University of Ghana immediately. This suspension must remain in effect until university administration permanently revokes the appointment and professorship of Professor Ransford Jampo of the Political Science Department. His indictments in the BBC Africa Eye Sex for Grades expose coupled with the university's failure to apply commensurate punitive measures stands in direct violation of the global standards of safety, gender equity, and human rights that your organizations purport to uphold. And now, HSA, Professor Jampo Nangasano, and Yemebia a course so and as a name be or BBC Eddie release a buyer, Emma or more echo BBC the release by Emma or more echo ya. Omode ehon sembe tudwa empo omo antimi anka ho hwe university na antimi anka ho hwe ebesi ne omo edaso ene papa no eye adwuma enti ye no ehon sem na omo ede ebe tudwa ewo honom no enti ye beto aso na yakan ede amamo. Also background and context. Also in 2019 the BBC Africa Eye documentary titled Sex for Grades exposed a systematic culture of sexual harassment at the University of Ghana. Professor Ransford Jampo was captured on video making numerous sexually suggestive comments to an undercover journalist posing as a student and explicitly proposing marriage in exchange for academic mentorship. A classic case of quid pro quo harassment and abuse of power. Despite the video evidence and the subsequent suspension, Professor Jampo has been reinstated, promoted to the rank of full professor. This action by the university sends a dangerous signal that the sexual objectification of students is a surmountable career hurdle rather than a termination-worthy offense. By retaining and promoting Professor Jampo, the University of Ghana has failed to protect its female students' population, thereby creating a hostile learning environment. This failure makes the university non-compliant with the ethical codes of conduct required by the international donors. And now also to us breach of donors policy and ethical guidelines. It's a petition de kono say Professor Jampo enka ebeyanka omo enyini free because and some way nyina ba eni nyina echi omo sa course university ni sa course wa e de ne koya kodru in fact senior lecturer mpo e ma omo de professor nyina e bo no also breach of donor policies and ethical guidelines. Also your continued funding of an institution that harbors and promotes individuals indicted for sexual impropriety constitutes a breach of your own internal policies. We have outlined below specifically how the retention of Professor Jampo violates the terms of engagement for each of your organizations, multilateral and bilateral development agencies. The World Bank breach policy, the Environmental and Social Framework (ESF), good practice note on addressing sexual exploitation and abuse of power. And your conclusion, no, you didn't catch the moon in an answer. World Bank, a sika on the University of Ghana, or more a sika or more de April or more. Copim say, be Professor Jampo, I didn't know every University of Ghana. And your conclusion, the Sex for Grades documentary was not merely a news item. It was a cry for help from the silent victims of academic predators. By continuing to finance the University of Ghana while Professor Jampo remains in post, you are inadvertently funding the very power structures that oppress female students. We urge you to stand on the right side of history, uphold your own policies, and protect the dignity of Ghanaian women. And some conclusion is a sex for grades. I beto drum maybe a tremuno. Na enye asam keke and as a news keke ene baye. Na way the numerous nipa don't na omo ma omo university mua some lecturers omo any omo efa kwan bone so any say results no who said the tie no wanye hu bibia any we are now by you. It's now so we are home be binti a mano titru na akobase lectures no na ebimo astate sex for grades said the BBC omo title omo documentary no oba na onu di mpamu agra na o grade no why home be e the amount enti no and the Association of Females Past Students of the University of Ghana omo de ensemaba betu just o mani nye ho sempo release and as be documentary say by you know still na Bank of Ghana any or more other groups no or more still now or more funded a University of Ghana. Next say is it that almost so